What's going on, beautiful people? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH, and to be honest, I'd like to welcome you back to my show, Hokage Thots. The show ain't no hoes, but we do think out loud here on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you choose to listen to this show on. Today in which I'm recording is November 20th, 2020. This is my third show in a row, and Lord knows there's probably going to be more. But before we get into it, please remember to rate this show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. It is the best way to help the show grow. It helps move my show up the algorithm, which in turn, I can't talk. But know that when you rate this show 5 stars, it brings more viewers in, okay? It moves it up the algorithm, and you know, people come in and be like, yo, this shit hot, this shit hot. If you want to further, you know, I'm only doing one take. If you want to further financially support the show, by you fucking send a nigga a donation. God damn! This intro sucks. All right, listen, if you want to further support the show, consider financially supporting the show by sending a donation to the Cashapp. The Cashapp is $the Black Hokage 08, although I understand if you don't want to send a donation because my intro fucking sucks. But once again, if you want to send a donation, it doesn't matter if it's $1, $5, $10, $15, $1 million. Send it to the Black Hokage 08. If you're watching the video version, it'll be right there at the top. Also, if you're watching the video version, right there on the lower right, it'll be a QR code. You can scan that and follow me on social media to keep up with all the latest videos and podcasts and all that other stuff. Okay, so today we're talking a little bit of the game, man. We're talking a little bit of the music, and I got some questions, a little anime. Before we get into that, you know, I got a quick bite, some stories that I found are interesting that I found this week. Got some social media related stuff. The first of which actually has to do with YouTube. So if you're watching the video version, you might want to be interested in this one. This one had the internet on fire. So according to PCGamer.com, YouTube will start showing ads on all the videos, regardless if you have monetization turned on or off. Changes are rolling out in the US mid 2021 and everywhere else. All right, so here's like the gist of the article, just like the beginning. On November 18th, YouTube updated its terms of service. The update is short, but it contains more crucial changes that may fly under a lot of radar because I can't talk. It contains a lot of crucial changes that may fly under a lot of radars because, let's face it, who reads the terms of service? Under the second point, the term reads, ads can now appear on videos from channels not in the YouTube partner program, and will begin to gradually place ads on brand safe videos. This means that unlike before, when videos only were monetized by creators who could display, basically before you could only YouTube partners could display videos. You know, people with a certain level of clout, those are the ones that got ads and then got paid. And they made it recently, like the last 2 years, they made it really hard to become a YouTube partner. You got to get like 4,000 watch hours or some shit like that and have like, I don't know, 5,000 subscribers or some shit like that. So they made this ridiculous. They made it harder to ever to become a partner. So it's a case of the richer get richer, the poor just kind of stay there. And that's why other platforms like TikTok have been popping, because people feel like it's an even playing field in terms of if they want to be a content creator. But this pissed off the YouTube community a lot because, I mean, it didn't piss me off. I don't really care. This doesn't affect me. But it pissed people off, I guess, who have been grinding. They feel like, you know, it's a slap in the face of them because now YouTube is going to place ads on their videos whether they want them or not. Also, this is bad, too, because, like, if you think about it, like, I mean, in my opinion, well, I'm gonna leave that alone. So like, let's say you do a video about somebody who dies, right? And you don't want to monetize the video because you don't want to come across as a scumbag. You just want to talk about it and kind of maybe spread a positive message, stay out of the streets, you know, something like that. And just kind of want to speak on the situation and send your condolences. Maybe you want to do some type of content like that. A lot of times when people do videos like that are very heavy and serious, to prove that they're not a scumbag, they won't put ads on the video. Now YouTube is like, we don't give a fuck what you want, whether you're a partner or not, we're gonna put ads on this shit. And what I'm confused about is god damn, stop sending me messages. I'm getting mad, my bad. Your auntie keeps sending messages. What I'm confused about is for those people whose videos are getting monetized. It doesn't say it in this article, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't say it. Are those people getting paid for those ads? Because to me, this is not a big deal if they're just like, fuck the YouTube partner program. If you make videos and we're gonna monetize your videos, even if you make pennies, we'll give you a cut of it. Like, I wouldn't see what the big deal is, but I don't think they're paying people because I don't see anything in this article about it, and that's why it's a big deal. And then also you're making people grind for this partnership, and you're just throwing ads on there anyway, so that's kind of whack. So just be aware, I'm bringing this up, just be aware that YouTube is going to change in 2021. If you have some favorite like smaller content creators, and one of the things that you enjoyed about their experience is you could just watch the videos and not worry about anything, You're gonna get ads out the ass whether you want them or not. I'm pretty sure. I read somewhere like last year too, they're working on a technology that's gonna bypass ad block, especially with COVID going on. These companies are hurting for cash and they're trying to get every dollar possible. So they're just know ads are coming. And I hate to break it to you guys, but ads are a necessary evil. I know some of you don't want to hear that because some of you have never worked a day in your life. You just live in your mama's basement and watch YouTube and fucking Netflix and Hulu or whatever. But the people that produce this content, in order for you to enjoy it, they need to get something back in order to, pay the rent and shit. So ads are a necessary evil. I don't know if this is a way to go about it. I don't know. But know that this is coming in 2021. They said mid 2021. So that's the first quick bite that I got for you guys. Let's see. What's the next one I got? What's the next story I got? I already need a swig of water. I haven't been drinking enough water today. Hold up. The next one I got for you. Oh, just a friendly reminder. I don't have nothing too crazy to say about this. Just a friendly reminder. Oh, y'all don't need to see my fucking shit. Yo. If you don't own the music, if you don't know the artist personally, can get a letter of consent, please do not play music on your Twitch live streams. Another wave of DMCA takedowns happened on Twitch, and Twitch streamers are still acting surprised and scared. I swear to God, we have this conversation like every 6 months. So like another wave of DMCA takedowns happened, and this one's really bad. Well, this is where Twitch fucked up. People are really pissed about at Twitch. Apparently, so Twitch's solution to the DMCA takedowns that these record labels are doing is they were like, just delete all your clips, because that's the problem. Like they have this technology on Twitch where like on your VOD, they mute the parts where you're playing copyrighted music, but they don't have the technology to mute the clips. So like your old clips were what getting people caught up and shit. So they were like, the solution is delete all your clips, delete all your VODs or whatever. And people were doing that. And then what happened was I deleted all my clips too. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of sad about that shit because it was a lot of like, I went like, like the business minded person in me thought, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna delete these clips because it's not worth it. And I still feel that way to a degree. Like it's not worth it. Like I don't want to risk it. But then when I actually went to go delete all and I thought about it, I went and looked at like some of my best clips from like back in the day. Like I made sure to download some of them, but like I lost some moments like, hey, shoot shot me, nigga, like the PUBG era. Like there were just like different eras and shit. I was like, yo, it was some wild moments that we had on Twitch and you just lost all the memory. So I can understand where creators are coming from. And that's a very big mishap on Twitch. So apparently when you delete all your clips and VODs, it doesn't really matter because they're still stored in like Amazon servers or whatever. You're just deleting it off the Twitch site. And I guess record labels were able to detect it because Twitch streamers who did delete all their content years, 5-10 years worth of memories are still getting hit with copyright strikes. So Twitch is under a lot of fire right now. And then it also came out, they released this app. I forgot what it was called, but like they released their own music app that was full of royalty free, copyright free music. And it turns out they didn't even ask permission to get some of those artists on there. So record labels were sending cease and desist letters to Twitch because apparently they weren't doing the right thing. Like, and it's wild too. Like this one actually hit home. What was the name of that app? I remember I uninstalled that as soon as that news came out. Fucking Anon's music was on there. You know, Anonymous, the homie, his music was on the platform and he never submitted his music on there. And we told him, like Black had told him in GI, he was like, yo, did you put your song on this Twitch app? And he was like, no. He was like, what the fuck? So he's looking into it and shit. So that Twitch app, I forgot what it's called. It's supposed to be royalty-free music for Twitch streamers. It's a music player by them. Do not use that shit because apparently they were not asking, just unprofessional. They were not asking proper permission, and another wave of DMCA takedowns are happening. So just a friendly reminder, if you don't want to get hit with a copyright strike, please stop playing music. And for the most part, it seems like people are finally starting to realize that they don't own these things, and they're finally starting to listen. I hit the wrong damn button. I meant to hit the podcast one. There we go. Most people are starting to listen, but one community that I'm seeing that's not listening, and it's really disappointing because this is primarily the Black community on fucking Twitch, is the 2K community. Oh my, you African Americans, can y'all, when your channel gets tooken, don't come crying to me. Like I go into 2K streams and it's just rap music playing out the fucking woo-wah. They just do not give a fuck. I literally was in one person partner stream and I was telling them like, yo, you should be careful with this shit. I'm not gonna tell nobody. We're all adults. And they were just like, well, I'm a small streamer. I should be all right. I'm not gonna get, okay. Okay. Is your goal not to scale your business? Like, I don't, oh my God, bruh. I be trying not to be an asshole, but like, I don't get it, man. I do not get it. Like that whole, I'm a small streamer right now. Okay. And let's say you blow up a year or two from now, that clip that you forgot about from a year ago when you were just a small streamer and you swear they didn't care about you, is going to come back to haunt you. But whatever, none of my business. Natural selection is like, it's a real fucking thing, man. It's a real fucking thing. I just cannot believe what the fuck happened. Whatever. I'm sorry, my bae was texting me. Anyways, I gotta see what's going on, Webbo and shit. We're on the podcast one. What else I got on my show notes? So just be aware, stop playing that goddamn music. Last but not least, this one's really random, kind of off the beaten path. I don't think I've ever talked about anything, and I'm not gonna really go too in deep with it, but PayPal will now allow users in the US to buy and sell cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. That's not a serious one, but that is a thing. Dogecoin, all the little Acon coin is coming, all the different cryptocurrencies out there. I thought this was like news that kind of flew under the radar, just because like I think it further solidifies cryptocurrency. I watch a lot of news, and like if you watch like mainstream news, they all tell you cryptocurrency is stupid. I'm still kind of on the fence. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I haven't invested in any Bitcoin or anything. I have some Bitcoin, but it's only because somebody donated it to me. But I personally haven't bought in any. But I'm like, maybe I should start investing in a little bit of cryptocurrency to be safe or something. But I think this does further solidify that it's here to stay. When a big, I don't even know what to call PayPal, a broker, a bank, I don't know. When a big financial institution like PayPal, world renowned, is now allowing people to buy and sell cryptocurrency, it's gonna make it easier to access, because like you gotta have like a thumb drive and you gotta go to like a specific ATM to get your cryptocurrency, or go on Coinbase or some shit like that. Well, like PayPal, I think it'll make people a little bit more what's the word, comfortable. But since PayPal is doing this, they need to up the security, because if it's all digital currency, I don't want my shit getting hacked, and that's always but yeah, you'll be able to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. Yo, I'm pretty tech savvy. I've known about Bitcoin since high school. I graduated high school in 08, so I went to high school 04 to 08. I think that's what it was. I think, yeah. And I've known about Bitcoin since high school, maybe like my sophomore year of high school, but it was like something I just kind of read about. I didn't think nothing much of it. Nowadays, man, look, what is Bitcoin going for? Bitcoin price. I wish, man, it's another example of fucking how I wish I would have invested. Okay, so when I first found out about Bitcoin when I was in high school, do y'all see this shit on the fucking video version? If you're not watching the video version, go to youtube.com/theblack-hokage. One Bitcoin translates to 18,608 United States dollars. When I first found out about Bitcoin back in high school, that shit was like pennies, bruh. People had to pay you to buy Bitcoin, and nowadays it's worth 8,000, 18,000. It's wild. The last time I looked at Bitcoin like a year ago, it was worth $6,000 a Bitcoin. Now it's worth $18,000 for one Bitcoin. It pays to think ahead, y'all. Invest. Let me get off this, because that's just depressing. Imagine if you would have bought like 100 Bitcoins for like some pennies, dog. I'm out. Let's change it. Let's change the topic. So yeah, be aware that PayPal is now going to be making it easier to buy and trade different types of cryptocurrency if that's what you're into. We'll see how if they become a power player in that market. All right, so let's get into the show. So today we're talking a little bit about gaming, nothing too crazy, a little bit of anime, a little bit of music, and then I took a whole bunch of questions from you guys. Remember, if you want to submit a question to the podcast, follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is at Mr_I_keep_it_real, or you can scan the QR code to the right of me. That'll bring up a webpage, or there's a link in the description box below if you're watching the video version at youtube.com/theblack-hokage. So on the gaming side of things, first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. I got the PS5 version. I am playing on performance mode. That's the first positive. This is just first impressions. This is not a review. I only played like 2.5 hours last night on stream. Make sure to follow me, twitch.tv/theblack Hokage. That's the first positive I have. Fucking, it offers options that I like that console gaming is taking notes from PC gaming, even if it's just a simplified version, offering more performance versus fidelity mode, because I don't really care about having the best graphics. Only thing I care about is how great the frame rate is. And oh my god, I'm playing performance mode on Miles Morales on the PS5, and the game still looks amazing. It still looks crisp as a motherfucker, bro. Yo, this nigga's hairline is crisp. But it runs at a smooth, buttery 60 frames, and it just makes for a great experience. And I was talking about it. It's so funny to see how people's mind frame has changed from the generation from the PS4 to the PS5. Because before, when the PS4 and the Xbox One first came out, people were saying, oh, the human eye can't see past 30 frames. My whole chat when I was streaming fucking Miles Morales last night, oh my god, this shit looks amazing, and it's still running at 60 frames like this. I was like, oh, now y'all can see it. Now you see we weren't being PC elitist and asshole. Niggas never see the benefit of something until there's like a cheaper version of it comes out, I guess, or something like that. But like, now you see performance matters. So like, the performance on it is great. So far the story, I'm really engaged in it so far. And the gameplay is fire. Like the way the game started off was fire. And I was talking about that on stream too. Like they did it in I forgot what game it was. I think it was The Last of Us 2. I think that beginning was boring as shit. But I love a game that has a nice set piece at the beginning, and then it opens up the world to you and allows you to, it slows down and allows the story to build up as well as the characters and whatnot. And that's kind of how this game started. It was an amazing set piece, a fight with Rhino. And then after that, the world opens up and the story slows down a little bit, and you start getting some more world building characters, like dialogue and stuff. So I like the way that the game started. The combat is fun. The swagger of a black teen. I mean, if we're being totally honest, Miles Morales plays like a more polished version of the original Marvel Spider-Man. So I feel like if you like that last one on the PS4, you're gonna like this one. It's just now you can use electricity abilities. He has the swagger of a black teen, which is it's just kind of more the same. But it's really good. It's really good. If anything, I feel like I'm playing this for the story, and so far I've been engaged by the story. The addition of the electrical powers is really fun. Traversing around the city is still as fun as ever. I'm just trying to figure out what else it does different besides the electrical powers, and I feel like it's probably not going to be anything, and I'm okay with that. But it never hurts to have more. That's what I'm trying to say. It never hurts to have more. Apparently this game is really short. I don't know, I haven't beat it. I'm only 2 hours in. I will say I'm like 3 hours in, because I played 2 hours on stream, then I got tired of talking to you niggas, because that's what happens. I like to talk, I like to stream until I'm tired of talking, and then I cut the stream off and I played for another hour off of stream. And in that hour, I literally swung around the city and got all the collectibles. I think I got about 95%. I'm almost done getting all the collectible side missions. So like, the game isn't that long. I heard on average it takes somebody like 10 hours to beat it. So it's short, but I wouldn't call it DLC. Because to me, DLC is like 2 to 3 hours long, usually 2 to 4 maybe. I would say this is, all right, I'm about to show my age here. I would say Miles Morales is not a full-blown new game from Insomniac, but it's not DLC either. It's what we used to call back in the day, it's an expansion, if that makes sense. This is an expansion of the original Marvel. That's what it feels like. If it's really true, I mean, we can go on how long to beat actually right now. Let's see, howlongtobeat.com. If you're unfamiliar with this website, this is a great website, howlongtobeat.com. So what this is people they supply their people supply their data on how long it takes for them to beat a game, and I usually use this as like kind of like a reference point when I'm getting ready to like review different types of games. So here we go, Miles Morales right here. So basically, you can go to this site, you sign up, and then you can punch in how many hours it took you to beat something, and then like they'll average the shit out. So according to all the people that reported it, on average, it takes about 7 hours to beat the main story, 11 hours if you do the main story, and then like a little bit of a few of the side missions. And if you want to complete the whole game, it takes about 16 hours. So it's all right. It's a decent sized game. I think, like I said, I would call this a Spider-Man expansion. It's not DLC, but it's not a full blown new game. It doesn't feel like it's an expansion. It gives you just enough to bite on. And I'm enjoying it for what it is right now, but I'm just curious to see if it does anything new, and I'm curious to see how fire that story is. If you're not familiar with expansions, think of something like World of Warcraft. They made it really popular. Like back in the day, they still get expansions where it's not a completely different. Honestly, it's what 2K needs to do. They need to stop putting out a new game every damn year and just put out an annual expansion, because that's basically what the new disc is anyway. So based off first impressions, would I recommend Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales? Absolutely. Is this a reason to buy a PS5? I don't know. I don't know if this is sole reason. If you can get this and like Godfall and a couple other games, maybe 2K or something, then sure. But would I buy a PS5 solely for Miles Morales based off what I played right now? No. My opinion could completely change once I complete the game. But for now, I like it. Is it a reason to buy a PS5? Nah, you should be. I heard it looks fine on the PS4 too. I heard it looks amazing too still. So I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, that's kind of just my first impressions. I'll drop a full review when I complete the game. If you guys want to watch my full playthrough, come through to twitch.tv/theblack.hokage. If you can't catch the live streams, I also upload my full walkthroughs or playthroughs on my second YouTube channel. For those of you unaware, my second YouTube channel is youtube.com/blackhokage There will be a link in the description box below if you're watching the video version, or scan the QR code. Right now I'm uploading Watch Dogs, and then I'm about to start uploading Miles Morales, so make sure to tune into that. What else I got on the show notes here for you guys? Oh, dating gamers. Oh my god, bruh. So Joe Budden, shout out to him. I guess he's expanding his empire. He's expanding past the whole Joe Budden podcast thing. Rory and Miles, and I guess he's allowing other people on his platform. I don't know the name of this show, but this clip went viral recently of 3 women talking about dating a gamer. I guess they were talking about it because, you know, the PS5 is relevant. PS5 and Xbox, the launch of it. And we about to go in on them. So I don't know why Joe Budden allowed this shit. This shit was garbage. Shout out to the chocolate honey. She fine too. Shout out to the little chocolate honey right here. She was defending gamers, but it's just really interesting to see. The title of the video on YouTube is PS5 and video games from a female perspective. Oh, I guess the name of the show is See the Thing Is. So it's three female hosts, and 2 of them, the 2 to the left, basically, they were just bashing on gamers, saying that if you date a gamer, just know they're losers. They don't do anything. They're people who failed in sports and all this other shit. And I'm just like watching it. I'm like, wow, you motherfuckers are ignorant. I was sitting there watching this shit, and I'm just like, this is why hip hop a lot of times gets bad raps, because it's honestly a terrible take. Because if we're being totally honest here, these chicks were just talking about how they were saying some of the worst dick comes from gamers. I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, auntie don't think that. Second, I'm thinking the chick to the left, she's not even bad, so I don't even know what you're talking about. And then the chick in the middle is like an average light-skinned chick with a ton of fucking makeup that niggas will gas up, but she's not even bad. So if we're being honest here, neither one of them are bad. The best looking one is the dark-skinned one to the right. She was cute. The 2 chicks that don't even look that great, got a pound of makeup and built like a whale, over here talking shit about how gamers don't get money. They failed at sports. They can't fuck. They're basically just losers. And like, there's some truth to that. There are some basement dwellers. I make the joke about that. But for the most part, the average gamer nowadays is 35 years old. They grew up. They have a job. They're doing all different types of things. Fucking, they wouldn't say any of this about people in the NBA. Freaking Ben Simmons. The most alpha shit I ever seen on Twitch was Ben Simmons when he was dating Tinashe, and Tinashe cold too. This nigga was dating Tinashe, and this nigga was streaming PUBG on fucking Twitch, and he made her ass sit behind him and watch him play. Like, that's alpha shit. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro. But and you're gonna call him a loser? She wouldn't call none of these NBA players. Fucking Devin Booker streams Call of Duty. De'Aaron Fox streams Call of Duty all the time. Like, there's a lot of NBA players. T-Pain, he's big in the Twitch community. And I just feel like it's coming from a place of ignorance. Like, I'm sitting here looking at, like, I'm pretty sure I make more money than all 3 of these chicks combined. And I sit here and play video games, and I talk about them for a living. We just sat here and talked about Miles Morales. And it's like, just because I'm curious to who did you have an experience with where you got this idea? Because I have a sneaky suspicion that they haven't fucked any gamers, because I got the sneaky suspicion that these women are very shallow. They only chase football players and basketball players, and they've never even gave a gamer a chance, just from the energy they gave off. But shout out to the chocolate shorty right here on the right, who was actually defending gamers, because she said that I think Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, she was saying in the video, her and her mans, they played it together. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a comment. Let me see if it's still the top comment I see in here. Yeah, right here. Shout out to LaQuintus Francis. He said, I'll be the first to say it, man. If she doesn't respect your hobby, then that's a red flag. Facts, bro. Listen, to any young men who are listening, stop changing yourself for some of these nut ass bitches, bro. Like, some of these, like, they always, not every woman is a queen. Just like how not every man is a king, not every woman is a queen. You don't need that ignorant energy in your fucking life. If she does not respect your hobbies, keep it fucking moving, bro, because she wants you to do everything that she likes. Why don't you, like the chocolate shorty was saying when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, she played it with her man. She said she played like 4 to 6 hours a day with him on certain days when they had time. It's a bonding experience, bro. Just like how I say, fellas, like, yo, if your girl loves to cook and you don't know how to cook, ask her to teach you. That's a bonding experience, bro. If you really genuinely like that person, like there's so many worse things. Your significant other could be a fucking crackhead. They could be a junkie. They could be a scammer. They could be a murderer. Like, motherfuckers be talking about gamers sometimes like they are murderers and rapists or some shit. Like, I just can't fucking do it. You know what they say about those gamers on the prison yard? They'll fucking, like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? So, like, I just find it's just really ignorant. First of all, for those you don't know, where gaming has surpassed, movies as the highest grossing form of media. I forgot how many billions of dollars it makes, but gaming has surpassed, especially in COVID. Gaming sales are up even higher. So there's a ton of money. There's so much money in the gaming industry, from being a game developer to a PR person. You could be a content creator. There's so many different things you can do, and it provides so many different jobs. I don't know why people continue to put this down. And the funny thing is, they just alienated an entire. This is a new podcast. I'm pretty sure. I've never heard of See the Thing Is. This shit is trash. They just alienated a very large portion of a potential male and female audience, because they were talking from the perspective. This is how I know they didn't date no gamer. They were talking from the perspective of like all gamers are pretty much males. Newsflash, last time I checked, gaming is split almost down the middle. I believe it's 51% male, 48% female. Women go on fucking Twitch. There are just as many female streamers as there are males. Every time you hop in a Call of Duty lobby, I'm pretty sure you hear women too. Like, this shit is just ignorant, man. And I just feel like it's a bad look for hip hop, and I feel like it's a bad look for Joe Budden if you're trying to start your network. I get it gets views and clicks and shit, but the shit is mad ignorant, dog. It's mad ignorant. But shout out to the chocolate shorty. You need to get your own show, because you sound like you got a good head on your shoulders. But these other two, I'm just like, first of all, I'm looking at the chick on the far left. I'm like, you'd be lucky if anybody dates you. Yo, let me get off this shit. I just wish people would stop doing this shit. And the chick in the middle looks like your typical fucking Instagram chick who only dates niggas who show money on Instagram. Trash. Fucking trash. It's a shame that we still have this perspective. Fellas, if she doesn't respect your hobbies, then that's a red flag. She should be excited about coming into your world. If she's not, and she's constantly trying to change you, it's time to move on. These chicks is birds, except for the dark skinned one. I'm talking about the two on the left, the two light skinned ones. They're birds. They're gonna be lonely. They're gonna hit the wall, 35, whatever they call that shit. Be begging for a sugar daddy and shit. I'm off this. Let's go back into my podcast screen. Let me get a swig of this water. I am talking. Oh, anime. Something real quick. So for those of you unaware, oh, hold up. Let's see. I forgot to get the link. So the creator of Naruto, he's coming back to, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I butcher this. Maashi Kishimoto. He's taking over. He's the original creator of Naruto. He's taking over Baruto. And it's kind of got the fan base split down the middle. This one's really interesting. First of all, I watched Baruto. It was one of those days, like maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. I had one of those days where I woke up and I was like, what's that one song? I don't feel like doing anything. The Bruno Mars song. I had one of those days. I was just like, it was a fucking day. And I literally sat there and I watched like 30 episodes of Baruto. I was like, you know what? I'm a Naruto fan. It's time to finally give this show a chance. I kind of stayed away from it because people were like shitting on it, and I believe where there's smoke, where there's fire. If I ask 10 people something and they all say it's trash, I'm gonna believe where there's smoke, it's fire. But like if I hear like mixed results, then I like try to check for it myself. But anyways, I finally gave it a chance. I'm not gonna lie, Baruto is ass. At least the 30 episodes that I watched, it was a lot of regurgitated ideas shitty character development. The fights weren't that great. I was just like, so I kind of put it down and I never watched it again. And I think they're trying to make more money. So I was doing the research, and apparently the Baruto manga, the sales are down in Japan. So they're trying to find a way to actually make money with this instead of just throwing it by the wayside, because I mean, it is a big property. It's got familiarity and whatnot. And for what I was reading, the Japanese fans are actually really upset about the fact that the creator of Naruto has taken over Baruto, because apparently the manga, I don't read the manga, I don't know, I'm going by hearsay. Apparently the manga, a lot of you in the Twitch chat tell me this too, because I'm probably about to get into reading manga or comic books again. A lot of people are saying the manga is actually in a really good place. It's gotten better. Apparently they're like 150 something chapters in Baruto, but like the show has only covered like 15 of the chapters. So like it'll be a long time before the anime gets good, basically. But apparently the manga is good. So like Japanese fans are upset about that. But on the West side, here in the West, people are actually excited about it because people love Naruto. So when they hear the original creators coming, and then most people are just watching the anime. I think anime is bigger in the West than it is in the East, or the anime is bigger versus the manga. People watch Baruto versus reading the manga because I mean it's just easier to watch the show. But Japanese fans are upset. But from what I was from my understanding, they're focusing more on the West because they make more money. They don't make any money off the mangas. They make more money in the West. So the creator of Naruto is looking like, all right, well, I mean Baruto. Well, both. Yo, I'm all over the place. I can't talk. Yo, rate this shit 5 stars. It sucks. So the creator of Naruto wants to take over Baruto since the most of the money is being generated in the West. And I guess they're going to focus more on the anime and trying to, I guess, catch up to the manga and shit. So this should be interesting. Maybe I'll pick up Baruto. But I guess I'm trying to figure out, the Japanese fans are hurt because they feel like, oh, the manga is good. And now you're switching up the writer because apparently somebody else was writing it and now it's going to become something else. So we're going to see. Keep your eye on Baruto. It could get better. That opening scene in Baruto was fire because like the ninja world was like destroyed. I'm like, oh shit. And it was like an older Baruto. I was like, where's this show going? And then it just becomes this shit show and it goes back to the, man, I don't know. Anyways, music recommendations. I've been listening to a lot of Giveon. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Giveon. I let Spotify play, and Allegra Snow. I already knew Allegra Snow, but I've been listening to her more. I let Spotify play the other day, and like a Giveon song came on. I apologize if I'm butchering the song. I heard him on the Drake song from his last album, but I never actually listened to his music. I let the Spotify algorithm run. It played one of his songs. I think it's called Beach or something like that. And I was like, yo, this shit is fire. I was like, who the fuck is this? And then I went to his page and I started listening to like his last 2 projects. I was like, yo, I fuck with this dude. Like he makes that, I don't want to say, kind of like Bryson Tiller. He makes that toxic kind of R&B music that I like, that I'm the best you ever had type music. I like that shit. That gangsta R&B shit, that Chris Brown, Bobby Brown. I love that shit. That's how I view myself. Like I'm a lover boy. I told y'all, nigga love to be loved, but I am a gangster too. That's what he makes. He makes that R&B thug music. That ain't nobody better than me. I'm the best you ever had type shit. So I fuck with his music. I would say go listen to hold on, let me open up Spotify. What songs do I really like? Like I Want You. I love that song. Take Your Time is his new project that came out. Yeah, The Beach is the name of the song. That shit is fire. So listen to Take Your Time, that album, and then he has a EP called When It's Said and Done. Oh, these were both released in 2020. Check them out. Giveon. If you like R&B music, it's not gonna be for everybody, but I like that R&B thug shit. You know, it's not cool to be tough 24/7. I love that baby making music. But that's the only recommendation. That's the only new person I've been listening to. I know going to Japan was on your bucket list of things to do in 2020. It was on mine as well, but it's just not possible right now with COVID. But lucky for you, today's sponsor, Boxu, can deliver a slice of Japan right to your doorstep. Boxu is an authentic Japanese monthly snack box delivered to your door. They partnered with 100-plus-year-old family snack makers to deliver fresh, Japan-exclusive snacks to your door. Each box you purchase supports these small family-run businesses and helps keep their traditions alive. When I received my box, it was full of all different types of treats that range from pastries to hard candies. One of my favorite was called Don Yaki. I apologize if I messed that up. And the best way I can describe it was this fried crunchy snack that looked like these little nuggets. It scratched an itch for several of my favorite flavor types. It was tangy, it was spicy, and it was sweet. And that was just one snack. Each box comes with 20 to 25 premium snacks, so I think there's a lot of value here. And since Bokksu is a sponsor of the show, you can get your authentic Japanese snacks today by going to bokksu.com. That's BOKKSU.com to experience a taste of Japan. They offer free worldwide shipping if you sign up for their mailing list, and you will also get $5 off by heading to bokksu.com and signing up for their mailing list. That's BOKKSU.com. So we're actually about to hop into the questions. Remember, if you guys would like to submit a question, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Mr_I_keep_it_real. But before we answer the questions, let me get a swig of this water. Also, before we answer questions, keep in mind, quick disclaimer, people submit their questions. So before I record every show, I put out a tweet. Hey guys, I'm working on show notes for the next podcast. Submit your questions or topic suggestions that you have for the next show. And people submit their questions, and this is me trying to answer them to the best of my ability. I am not God. I am not the all-seeing eye. This is just people answering questions, and it's just me trying to answer them. So with that being said, you can do whatever the fuck you want with this information. You ain't got to listen to me. So the first question, it comes from Khalid, and he says, would you like to see sports titles like Madden and 2K become free to play, subscription based, especially since they don't really introduce new features and game modes anymore? I disagree. The new 2K definitely did introduce new features with the new My Player Builder, the new W mode, the new My City. It definitely did introduce new features. I think what they need to focus now, Madden I can't speak on because I'm not a football fan. If y'all ever see me playing Madden, it's because EA paid me, and I have no shame in that. And I also like playing Madden because it pisses off the Madden community. I know nothing about football, and I get more views than all of them, and they come in there and they just get mad, and I love that shit. But 2K, I would disagree. I think they do introduce new features. I think the problem is the features that they introduce are poorly executed. So then it takes the fake five stars. This shit 5 stars. So because what they introduce is so poorly executed, it turns your focus away from you actually focusing on what's new and what's fun, and it turns that focus into their poor execution, and you just start focusing on what frustrates you more, to the point where you forget that there are new features, because that new My Player Builder is dope. I spent like an hour and a half on stream sitting there trying to tweak my My Player to build them exactly how I wanted. But because the park is so fucking laggy, or the city is so damn laggy, it's not fun to anybody. People don't focus on that. So I think they need to focus more on their execution. They really need to buff up them servers. Also, Live needs to come back and fix their game. Would I be opposed to an annual? Because I was talking about that earlier. I wouldn't be mad at it. I would not be mad if they just turned 2K into a subscription service where, I don't know, you pay $30 a year and you get one major update, maybe some minor updates throughout the year. And that major update would be like, 2K22 or whatever. But the problem with the subscription-based thing is they would never do that. And the reason being is they wouldn't make as much money. Why do a subscription based when you can make more money selling a $60 disc? Also, when they do the annual disc, here's the thing, right? It's a hype thing. If they just do a subscription based service, people will know every year an update is coming out, but it'll be hard to get. This is a personal opinion. I don't think people would get as excited for that annual patch or update as they would knowing a new disc or a new, what they sell to you, the idea of a new game, if that makes sense. Like what sounds from a marketing standpoint, what sounds more alluring to you? 2K, the next 2K22 update, or NBA 2K22 is coming out. You see what I'm saying? Just the idea that it could potentially be a completely different game, they prey on people's weakness with that. Oh no, this ain't an update. This ain't the annual subscription update. This is NBA 2K22. Y'all gotta cop this. This is different from the last one. So like, I don't think they would personally do that, because from a marketing standpoint, it doesn't make sense. They have to cash in on the hype and the idea that it's something completely different. They have to, because at this point, we all know that 2K is leaning on the success of 2K14, 15, and 16. Maybe 17 if you want to throw that in there. That was probably like the last really good one. They're leaning on the success of like 15 and 16, and they're going to ride it to the wheels fall off. They're going to ride it until our knight in shining armor NBA Live shows up and just competes. NBA Live doesn't even have to be amazing. It just has to be good. It just has to be good. And let's say 2K has 10 million concurrent players right now. All NBA Live has to do is show up, be good, and take away like 2 million of those players. Now they only got 8. They're gonna be looking like, oh shit, maybe we should do better. Competition, it breeds excellence. That's why a lot of you men are losers, basement dwellers, because you don't want to compete. You as a man should want to be around other great men. Stop getting intimidated by that shit and learn from them. It'll make you a better man. I don't know why I started talking about that, but real motherfucking shit. Next question comes from Edward. And he says, hey, TBH, I wanted to know how you manage to stay consistent when working towards your goals. I find myself knowing exactly what I want to do in order to be the best version of myself, but I can't seem to stick to a strict schedule or routine for the next few weeks. So I say this like every podcast. I have bills, so that motivates me. But if you want an idea that helped me when I was really young, when I was younger, 19, 20, 21. I don't know how old you are, but I'm gonna assume you're younger. Assuming it's problematic, I know. But what I used to do when I was younger is I bought a big ass whiteboard. And if you actually go back and watch some of my old YouTube videos, it shows up in some of those old videos. I used it in skits as well as like it just showed up in the background and stuff. I had a big white board that I pinned to I screwed into my wall. It was like the size of a classroom wall. And I used to have the markers with, the eraser and shit, the same shit that you would find in school. I don't know if they do it anymore because I think y'all have like smart boards now or something like that. Or y'all niggas make TikToks. Y'all don't pay attention anyway in school. But I used to have a big dry eraser board on my wall, classroom sized. And I wrote down all my goals. I would have like daily goals that I would write like the night before. Then to the side, I would maybe have like weekly goals. Or like monthly. I would have like monthly goals, and then I would have like goals for the year. So I had a whiteboard full of like goals and shit. And for me, I'm not saying this will work for you, but for me, it worked because every day I would have to wake up and the first thing I would see is a big whiteboard reminding me, get this shit done. These are your goals. And it's just something like, and this is, I don't know where I read it, but I guess it's been proven scientifically, or however you want it, whatever word you want to use, but it's scientifically proven. If you literally look at your goals every day, at least for me, the shit just annoyed the living fuck out of me. Like, I need to get this shit done, because like I would just look at it and be like, all right, let's do that, versus it being on your phone, because you have to actually be on your phone, open the app and look at it. But like actually having a board that I would wake up to and visually see, did you accomplish this today? Did you accomplish this month? Did you accomplish it? If the answer is no, it would annoy the living shit out of me. So I'm not saying that you necessarily need a big classroom whiteboard on your wall, because I think it was like $100 when I bought it. I can look it up on Amazon for you real quick. But maybe get like a smaller one that you can put on your wall. Let me see, let's look up dry erase boards. Dry erase boards. Let's switch over. So there's a 48 by 36 one. That's like a nice medium sized big one. Actually, I think this is the one I had. This one's only $58. And then you can get like a smaller one for like $20. But yeah, you just fucking screw that shit into your wall. I swear to God, start writing down all your goals and just leave that bitch up. When you wake up, it'll motivate you to do better. At least for me. I don't want to say it will do for you. It worked for me. That's how I stayed motivated. And then they say it takes 6 weeks on average for a person to develop a new habit. So once you start developing those habits of accomplishing goals, you'll just naturally start doing it. Because I don't have that board anymore. I naturally just kind of stuck it, and also I got bills too. I've actually been thinking about getting another one to kind of keep me motivated, because I like the idea of like visualizing, and it's one thing to have a goal in your head, but to actually look at it, like walk the fucking dog, don't be a fat ass, walk the dog, like actually seeing you wrote that the night before, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be a fat ass, maybe I should pet that dog. That's what helped me. I don't know if that'll help you, but that's one of the ideas I can give you. Hopefully that did help. The next question comes from Chris, and he says, what's something you want to see in the Mass Effect Remaster sequel? I don't know if you touched on this topic before. I think I did on the GI podcast, but to touch on it quickly, to reiterate. So what I want to see from the Mass Effect Remaster is improve the clunkiness, improve the Mako. So like the way the characters moved in the original Mass Effect trilogy, it didn't really age that well. It's a little bit clunky. And then the Mako driving was ass too. But keep the story the same and better visuals. Honestly, what I would like to see them do is, and I've always stood by this statement, Mass Effect Andromeda was not a bad game. It was a bad Mass Effect game. It wasn't as good as the original trilogy. The story was just meh, it was there. But I also stand by the fact that the combat in Mass Effect Andromeda is the best in the series. So if they could take the combat from Mass Effect Andromeda and pluck that into the original Mass Effect trilogy and then give me the story of the original trilogy with improved visuals and movement, mwah. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see them touch it up too much. Just, you know, little minor tweaks and shit like that. And put all the DLC in there too. Put all the Lair of the Shadow Broker. I love that shit. That's the best piece of DLC ever created. One of the few that I ever bought. Lair of the Shadow Broker. If you haven't played it, you're bugging. Next question. It comes from Hector, and he says, I know GI has some new merch, but will you have any new merch for yourself? For me right now, I am focused. I do want to do merch. So my thing about merch, right, is I find most content creators merch to be ass. If you see me wearing my friends' merch, or like if you see me wearing other content creators' merch, it's because I genuinely like it. My problem with merch always has been that, like, I want to design something that I personally would wear, or like other people would wear, even if they're not a gamer. A lot of gamers create stupid merch where there's like a chicken on there with like a quote or something. Like, shit is just whack, bro. Like, I want a real, I have an idea for like a real streetwear line, but I want to make something that's like dope to where anybody will wear it. So if I post it on Instagram, regardless if you're a gamer or not, you don't feel left out, because you exclude people. And like when it comes to business, you should always cast a wide net. Why only go for one specific fish when you can go for all of them? So I don't want to exclude anybody. I just want to make something dope. So when people see it on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, they'll be like, yo, I will wear that. And be like, oh, this dude's a gamer? That's cool. I didn't even know that, but fuck it, I'm still wear this shit. So that, just trying to come up with the proper idea of that type of merch. But then also I'm kind of focused on growing my own brand. I'm just not really focused on peddling shirts to people right now. Like, so GI's merch is enough for me right now. I'm focused on trying to, I said it on stream. I was like, you know, maybe I want to go for 1 million subscribers. I've never, honestly, people talk a lot of shit in my chat, in my comment section on YouTube, I mean, about like my views or like my subs. And like, I always read those comments. I'm like, it's really like sad that people can't view the world outside of their own lens. Because like, I sit there thinking, I'm like, do these people ever stop to realize that, like, maybe he doesn't really care about hitting 1 million subscribers? Maybe he makes a lot of money and maybe he's just happy at where he's at. Like, it's really wild to me. It doesn't matter that I've been stuck at 600,000 subscribers for like 3 or 4 years. I have 600,000 subscribers and I've been averaging like 30 to 50,000 views a video. Most of you cannot count to 5 without using all 10 of your fingers. And it's like, it's wild to me that people talk shit. Yo, you only have 600,000 followers. Like, what? How many followers do you have? But I think this year, I guess I've been feeling a little bit more motivated. I'm not saying I wouldn't want 1 million subscribers. Sure, like, who wouldn't? But like, I don't really care that much. I never really got too caught up in like numbers. I've always been more worried about, same thing like with the merch, like the quality of what am I doing? Am I being a good influence? Am I making people laugh? Because there's a formula to growing. All you got to do is follow all the hot topics and give your 2 cents on everything. But I don't feel the need to give my 2 cents on everything. I try to find a balance and giving my 2 cents in things that matter to me, as well as making people laugh. But I guess in back in my head, I was like, maybe I'll try to go for 1 mil. Maybe that's why I've been putting out a little bit more content on YouTube, and kind of dialing it back on Twitch. But before, like I said, Twitch was my focus. Twitch showed me more love, so that's where I went. But for merch, like you're saying, sorry, I went all over the place. For me, with merch, I think it'll get there, but I think I want to grow some more. One of the platforms I actually really I'm kind of been focusing on heavy. I've been getting a lot of love on TikTok. Get it in where you fit in. If you're not getting love on YouTube, if you're not getting love on Twitch, try Twitter, try Instagram, try TikTok. If you really want to be a content creator, don't give up, because I'm getting a lot of love on TikTok. Let me see. Let me open up my page right now. So right now, which I'm recording, I have 4,899 followers. I don't even have a lot of followers, but my latest video has 32,000 views on it. Then I have one that's got like 9,000. I have several. I have one that got 71,000, another one with 35,000, one with 41,000. And then my averages are pretty decent too, over 40,000 likes. Like, it's like people are fucking with my content on TikTok. And then I don't know if I think I said it in the last podcast, but like, for those of you unaware, TikTok is a powerful platform because 70%, it's mostly Gen Z people that use it. So, and they were saying I read an article that said 70% of TikTok users do not have any other social media platform. So meaning, if let's say there's 1,000 people on TikTok, 700 of those people do not have Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. They don't use none of that shit. They legit just be on TikTok's For You page, addicted to that. So there is a very, very large, and they have over 500 million users, I believe, and it's growing every day. there's a very large net to cast there that's not available on any other platform, and they're fucking with me. So like I said, a lot of people in the comment section on YouTube will be like, yo, why don't you make more merch, like you were saying, or why don't you make more videos? It's because you niggas just talk shit to me most of the time. So I took my talents to Twitch, where Twitch, I'm on the front page half the damn time. We just had 25,000 people watching me play Apex, and I had a fucking Duracell battery sponsorship on Twitch. But you niggas on YouTube will never know. You think I fell off and you think I'm trash. I'm popping, nigga. Like, I'm more pop. And then I have 2 podcasts in the top. Yo, I swear to God. Yo, let me get in my Birkin real quick. Then I got 2 podcasts. They're in the top 100 in the world for gaming. GI and Hokage Thots. We might have 3 or 4 because I got a couple other ideas. I've been doing this for almost 15 years. I got the TikTok popping now. The Instagram we about to get popping too. Let me stop, bro. The only place that like I said, get it in where you fit in, to leave it on a positive note. YouTube is just a negative place, and that's why I don't really be caring what they be saying over there. I just upload it because I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. If it blows up, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. Next question comes from Mike Duffy, and he says, how do you store old media files, multiple hard drives, cloud? I have an 8 terabyte hard drive. I have a 500 gigabyte SSD drive. That's how I move my files from my PC to my Mac when I need to edit. But like stuff that I store, like gameplay and stuff like that, and in videos, I have an 8 terabyte hard drive. I think it's a Seagate. How much does it go for? Let's see. Let me look at my orders real quick. My Amazon orders. Let's do 8 TB and see what comes up. Yeah, it's a Seagate backup plus 8 terabyte hub. I think I talked about this on pod, but we're gonna repeat ourselves. Whatever. I've had this for like a few years too, so like know that I've had this for like 3 or 4 years. It's an 8 terabyte hard drive. It's $99, not bad, because I'm pretty sure I paid $200 for it when it came out, so $100 is not bad. And what I really love about this thing is it's USB 3. I have it plugged into my PC. This is how I record all my PC gameplay and console gameplay, and the USB 3 is fast enough that I don't ever have to worry about writing speed, so it always is writing to my hard drive. And like, I've never ran out of space in the last 3 to 4 years. Like, I don't think I've ever actually used more than like 2 terabytes on my shit. And I'd be having a lot of, like, if you tune into the GI podcast, I always got brand new gameplay on there, don't I? And like, granted, I do delete the gameplay after I'm done using it if I don't need it anymore. But like, oh, that's why it's $100. It's a 4 terabyte. Well, the 8 terabyte's gone. How much is it? It's sold out. Well, a 4 terabyte, you should be good with a 4. A 6 terabyte is $133. So I mean, that's what I use, the Seagate plus. I don't know, did I show that on the screen? Hold up, let me make sure. There you go. If you're watching the video version, that's the one that I use. The 6 terabyte is $133. I mean, that's fine if you can't get the 8 or the 10. 6. I mean, you might be fine with 4, to be honest. But what's not fine is that PS5 800 gigabytes. I don't know about that. So that's what I use in terms of storing things. Let me get a swig of this water. We gonna hop into the next question. We got a lot of questions. Alex said, what do you think about games becoming more and more mainstream? I think it's a good thing. I don't have anything else to say about that other than it's a good thing. The more somebody else succeeds, it means the more that I succeed. Like, people love to, I remember they was ragging on, my chat was ragging on Ninja because like his shoe was ugly, and his shoe is ugly. But I was like, on the flip side, I was like, I'm happy for him, because the more that he wins, the more that I win, and vice versa. The more that you do better in the gaming space, the more that I do better. It grows the community, it grows the industry, brings more eyeballs over here. So the fact that it's going more and more mainstream, I don't care. I don't, like, some of y'all need fucking therapy. I'm not specifically talking about you. But there is a segment of the gaming community that's like, oh, this is our baby. Like, they used to make these same guys that used to make fun of us at the lunch table in fucking middle and high school for being a gamer playing Halo every night. Fucking now they want to be gamers and shit, the jocks, because they didn't make it to the NBA. Listen, bro, I get it. They made fun of you, but like, you're like 36 years old now, dude. You either seek therapy or shut the fuck up. I don't know. So I think it's a good thing, because the more they succeed, the more I succeed. Next question comes from Rita, and she asks, what camera do you use for your videos? I have a Sony Alpha 6400. I repeat, the Sony Alpha 6400. Matter of fact, let me just show it on the video. Sony. Matter of fact, if you're watching the video version, I'm going to show it on the screen. I got the Sony A6400. Right now, on average, it's retailing for $860. Yeah, that was about the price I got it for. The price really hasn't came down. And then I have a 16 millimeter lens on it, so it's a wide angle lens. It casts a big net, basically. Altogether, I got the lens used for like $300 out of a camera shop. I got the camera used as well. And I still pay like $800 for it. So like I pay like $1,200 or something like that for my whole setup. It's a really nice camera. Like what's really cool about the Sony Alpha series that I love is it shoots in what's the word I'm looking? It has a 6K sensor in it, meaning it records, but it records in 4K, if that makes sense. So it has the resolution is limited to 4K, but the actual sensor inside of the camera is a 6K camera. So the image that you get is sharper than 4K. So if you want, you could blow it up if you want, and it's to still look fine. So that's why my camera always looks so nice. It is pricey, but if you want to make money, you gotta spend money. That's a real thing. Is this something that you need absolutely as a beginner, as a content creator? No, but if you can afford it, go for it. That's what I say. If you want a cheaper alternative, this one does 4K. I think the Sony 6000, how much? Oh no, not the 60. The Sony A6000, it does 1080p. The quality is pretty good. This is like the original one in the series. You can get it on Amazon for like $500, I believe, new, but that's just the body, keep in mind. Let's see, the Sony A6000, they're sold out. Well, it's only one left in stock. What's the fucking price? Oh, you can get it used for $391. This one's a solid camera if you don't care about 4K. You can get a similar quality to what I have. It just won't be in 4K. But if you don't care about that, go for it. I'm actually probably gonna buy one of these because I'm gonna upgrade the setup for some other shit we got working on. I want to have multiple camera angles, and because this gives a similar quality camera, I can have multiple camera angles at a cheaper price. So I'm actually gonna buy one of these pretty soon. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. If you want to ball out, get the 6400. If you don't, get the 6000. If you want my entire PC setup, if you're watching the video version, go to the description box and check the my FAQ. On my FAQ, I have my entire PC setup, including the camera and all that shit. Next question comes from the Fro Who Knows. I know you're taking more time to yourself and your loved ones. However, do you think your workout streams will come back? I stopped doing the workout streams for like business reasons. So like, you know, my people that I talk to that help me get brand deals and shit like that. You know, CCV is a very important thing on Twitch, concurrent viewers basically. And the problem with businesses, they look at like your last 30 days or whatever. And the problem with my workout streams is a lot of people don't support them. I appreciate that you support them, but a lot of people didn't watch. On average, for those who don't come through to the Twitch streams, when I'm playing games, I would say I average between 500 and 1,000 people. And then when it's like really good, you know, it could shoot up to like 25,000 depending on what happens that day or whatever. And those are good numbers. That puts me in the top 1% of Twitch. So like I need to maintain that. And the problem with that is like when you're trying to get brand deals and make money, you know, those brands care about your concurrent viewers. And whenever I would live stream myself working out, the people who came through and watched really enjoyed it, because I don't just live stream myself working out. I explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, if I have like any tips or whatever. But on average, only like 200 to like 250 people were watching me live stream my workouts. So it was fucking with my concurrent viewers. I went from averaging like 1,000 viewers a month in a month to like averaging like 441, because that 250 that I was getting in those workouts when I was streaming 2-3 times a day, it was bringing down my numbers. So then it fucks with my rates. You know, I don't want to get paid 5,000 for a brand deal when I know I can get 15,000. You know what I'm saying? You gotta maximize them dollars. So I just started working out off stream. I get my workouts done quicker anyway because I don't gotta talk to you niggas. So every once in a while I'll do like a workout stream, but like regularly, no, because it fucks with my numbers. People don't support it. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I got to be smart with my business. I'm a little too old to be just doing shit for fun anymore. Next question comes from Kiro, and he says, "Sup, TBH. I'm looking into starting a podcast with a couple homies. Do you think it's necessary to build some type of following on social media before I start, and just go for it and spread throughout just word of mouth?" All right, so check it out. Said thank you for your time. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it, Kiro. Check it out. If you have no following on social media, and you're starting a podcast, and you want to be known for that podcast, and you have no following, how are you going to build the following with no content? You're better off just making the podcast, dog. Like, just accept that your first few episodes are not going to get a lot of views. Just accept it. And that way, it's a resume. You want to have a proof of concept. So just do the podcast, promote it on whatever social medias that you have, except it's not going to get a lot of views, and just build it from there. When we started the GI podcast, it didn't get a ton of views, and now it's in the top 100. If you go on Spotify, it's not hard to find. Like, you just have to accept you had to start somewhere. But I would say do the podcast first and then promote the podcast, because if you just start Like, what do you, how can you want to be known as a content creator. How can you be known as a content creator when you have no content? This is like niggas want to do shit and get 1 million views when they first do it. You just had to accept you ain't gonna get 1 million views. It is what it is. Take them L's. I did. You can too, man. You be all right. Good luck with that shit though. Next question comes from Lil Pasta. All right, bro. Yo, Lil Pasta sound like a shitty SoundCloud rapper, and he says, recently I've started dating a 28-year-old woman and I'm 19. Do you have any advice on thoughts about this subject? Watching your videos helped me advance to who I am today, so maybe your thoughts can help me today. All right, bro, you're probably not gonna want to hear this, but this is the hard truth, man. It's wild that you said this because when I was 19, I dated someone who was 28 years old. It's probably not going to work. I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably not going to work. So the thing about older women is, like, I used to like to fuck on older women when I was younger. But the thing with older women is a lot of times they fuck with younger dudes like you because they can control you. At 19, if I had to take a wild guess, I mean, especially because you're asking this question, you're not 100% you don't know 100% who you are. You probably don't have the steadiest job and you're just happy to have a baddie and she's older than you. So it's like something to brag about. But the thing is, like it's wild. If I would have married the chick that I was dating when I was 19 and she was 28, she would be like 39 right now, I think, or something like that. And like I'm 30. Like it's not. No, we're not doing that. So you have to think about that. But one thing that I also like I said, a lot of times older women date younger men because and a lot of times older women date younger men because they want to be able to control them. Versus. And also nobody wants to ask. You should probably ask her why nobody wants you at your age. It's probably because she has some bad habits that older men will not fuck with and not tolerate. So then she jumps to you. You're younger. You don't know any better. You got less game and she's going to take advantage of you. I'm not trying to break y'all up. It might be love. I'm just telling you the truth. Versus when a lot of older men date younger women because unfortunately, and women don't want to hear this, but men age like wine. I don't want to say everybody, but most men don't lose their seed. You can still bust nuts at an old age and have kids. But women, they age like milk. After about 35, it's all downhill for most women. You got a few in there like Holly Berry who take really good of herself. But even still, Holly Berry is starting to show her age. And then it's not even about what you look like. It's also, high risk pregnancy. It starts at 35. And that's why I say like at 35, like it's pretty much downhill for women versus men. Your earning potential usually doesn't start until you get into your 30s. Like I wasn't lying to y'all. Like that shit is wild. Like some of the stuff that Kevin Samuels be saying because it's true. Like I really didn't start touching money until about 28. I mean, I was making good money before, but I'm talking about real money. When I found out what these white boys was making, and I found out how to finesse my way into these circles and shit, I'm talking about real money. And like, it excites me for like my 30s, especially when I be looking at my bank account and shit, and my stock account, my portfolio. So just be wary of that. But then also, it might not work too, because, and this is a personal experience that I had. You got to realize you two are at different points in your life. She probably wants to get married and you probably like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like you're 19, you're just happy to be fucking on a 28-year-old woman. So there's the pressure of that. I had that pressure. And then there's also the pressure of hanging out with her friends. They're probably gonna make fun of you because you're younger. That happened to me. I remember I told this story on stream. I remember my girl when she was 28, I was 19. The first time I met one of her friends, it was her birthday party. And it was a big ass, like, it was like 10 couples. It wasn't like, I don't know what you call that. It wasn't like it was like a double date, but with 10 couples. Everybody was there with they boo, and it was her friend's birthday. And her friend had said some slick shit about me because like everybody was sitting at the table. They was like, yeah, I just graduated. I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm a lawyer. They all had like their lives, because they were older. And I'm sitting there like 19, like looking baby face, because this is before, like, I had like a little mustache, but this is before the testosterone really started kicking in and shit. And like, it gets to me and they're like, so what are you doing? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just, just working, doing what I do. And then she said, I heard her friend say some slick shit out the side of her mouth. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it made me so fucking mad because I was like insecure about the shit. And I clenched my jaw. I was clenching my jaw and like my girl had noticed. She's like, why are you clenching your jaw? She's like, you mad, ain't you? I was like, and then I remember I walked off. And like, it was whatever she had said, it was really bad. I went and sat in the car for the rest of the night. And then like, I remember like I was fussing. I was like, I'm not fucking, that's actually, it's funny too, because here's a sense of clarity. I was talking this to my girl about this shit. That's actually where I got if you come to my streams or you see my videos, you've probably heard me say in the past, I used to always tell the women that I would date that your friends are your friends and my friends are my friends. I'm not trying to be friends with them. And that's actually, I realized like through all of my healing, that's one of my damn traumas that that's one of the things that I unjustly put on other women, because I had one bad experience with that woman. I put that unfairly on other women, and that's something that I'm reversing, because that's a criticism that my girl has of me, is that like she took the time to get to know all my friends, but like I'm like whatever about her friends. I don't really care. And it came from that situation, because I got dogged out in front of like a bunch of other dudes, and like whatever that, I don't even remember what that woman said to me. I just remember it was so bad that even the other dudes who were sitting at the table, like they defended me. They was like, nah, I can understand, like, because it was my first time meeting them. It was just a bad experience. And then like, I just, from that point on at 19, I used to tell every woman that I would deal with, your friends are not my fucking friends, and don't even bother trying to talk to my friends. Like, that's the shit. That's the demon time I was on. So like, understand you might have to deal with some shit like that. But in order to make it work, if you want it to work, you're going to have to accept that she's older, and she's probably going to push you for marriage in the next 2 years. Because once women hit 30, that's when they realize, oh, maybe I should stop fucking around, you know? So that's the only piece of advice I would say. Just be wary that, you know, that pressure is coming. And if you feel like you're not prepared for that, you don't have the job for that, you don't have the time for that, you still trying to figure yourself off, just cut it off. Cut it off. Or just be like, yo, we fuck buddies. But a relationship, that's going to be rough, big dog. Good luck. Next question. Next question comes from the last question. It comes from Mansatic. He says, hey, I remember you said you had sleep apnea and that's why you started to lose weight. I do too, and I wanted to know, have you noticed any changes with sleep apnea since your weight loss and new diet? Yeah. So one of the ways that I knew, so for those unaware, like I said, I had sleep apnea. I don't know if I don't think I have it anymore. So one of the reasons I got inspired to like start losing weight is because I needed to. My health, I'm getting old. I was getting older. And also like I was suffering from sleep apnea. My ex used to enable that shit. She said she just got used to it. But like my new girl, like it genuinely like scared her. And I guess it like inspired me to get myself into shape. It's amazing what a good woman will do to you. Like that shit that Kevin Samuels says is real. One of the other things that I realized, Kevin Samuels has this acronym, FBI, feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. I realized with him that I cannot deal with no masculine chicks. I mean, I had been known that from my ex. She was kind of masculine. I need a feminine chick. She got to be bad. She got to be beautiful. But the last one that I really didn't realize, a good woman will inspire you. My ex, I had when I was at my fattest, I was like almost 300 pounds. That was when my sleep apnea was the worst. I used to snore all through the night, choking in my sleep. And she would just put a pillow over her head and she said, I just got kind of used to it. But like my new girl, she would tell me about it and she wasn't mean about it, but she was like, yo, I'm genuinely scared. And I'm like, I care about you. And like, I just want you to get it. And that's what I told you, like the story in the last podcast. She was like, I'm happy that you're taking control of your health and shit like that. So like she inspired me. So look for a woman that inspires you. She inspired me to get and then also she was like a vegetarian too. Like so that inspired me. I felt bad. Like she would eat like vegetables in front of me and like I'm eating chicken and shit. Like it just made me want to do better, I guess. A good woman will inspire you. That shit is real. But with her, I did ask her like a month ago. Cause you know, niggas be falling asleep on FaceTime. I ain't gonna lie. You be caking and shit. You know, look, a nigga lot of me lie and shit, bro. He lot of me lie. So, you know, sometimes you fall asleep, and usually I fall asleep first because I'm a big ass baby, or I be tired all the time, basically. And she did tell me like a month ago that when I asked her, I was like, just out of curiosity, I was like, do I still be snoring and like choking in my sleep and shit? She's like, actually, she's like, now that I think about it, she's like, no. She's like, you just be quiet when you sleep. And she's like, every once in a while you'll snore a little bit, but she's like, nah, you really don't. She's like, I was like, oh, good. And then I actually thought about it this morning too. One of the ways that I knew my mouth was always open and I was like struggling to breathe in my sleep with my sleep apnea was like I would wake up in the morning and my mouth would be dry as hell. That's how I knew. It would feel like I had almost like strep throat. Like my throat would be sore and my mouth would be really dry. So I knew I was struggling to breathe that night because it wouldn't happen every night. But one thing that I noticed is like, especially like I noticed it this morning. My mouth don't be dry no more. So I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm breathing fine again. And she said, she's like, I don't really see nothing crazy anymore. And that was a month ago. Like I've come down in weight even further. Like my waist is getting snatched. I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to become a thotty. So yeah, I believe that it has improved my sleep apnea. And like I said, if you do your research, 90%, according to Google at least, I'm not a doctor, but according to Google, 90% of sleep apnea is caused by weight. Some of it is like genetics, but for most people, it's just because you're fat. And if you look on YouTube, it's just too much fat in your damn throat or whatever, blocking up your passageways. And if you look it up on YouTube, some people said the same thing. Like I lost weight and it just went away. And for me, I do feel like I'm breathing better. Like, I had the epiphany the other day. Like, I went outside. I wanted to switch it up because I didn't feel like jump roping that day. So I went for a jog, and I jogged hills. Well, not hills because I didn't want to go too far because, you know, COVID and shit, social distancing. So I ran inside. I like to run inside of my parking garage. It's like 6 or 7 floors all uphill. So I ran hills. I set my watch to 30 minutes and I ran up and down the parking lot garage hills for like 30 minutes after my warm up. And I had the epiphany. I was like, yo, I'm in pretty good shape now, because I was like, I haven't felt this good since like my early 20s, like my teens, when I was like in really good shape. Like I was on FaceTime. I'm not gonna lie. I was on FaceTime with my shirt up. My girl called me, right? FaceTime a nigga and shit. I had my shirt off. I ain't gonna lie. Like, my shirt off been a whole lot more lately. She answered the phone. She's like, why your shirt off? I was like, I know you see that, right? I was like, you see my abs coming, right? She's like, I was like, yeah, you ain't gonna be able to keep your hands off me, girl. But yeah, I don't even know why I thought that story. But yeah, I was running hills basically in the parking lot garage. And I had the epiphany. I ran for 30 minutes straight. Hills, by the way. The reason I chose to run hills instead of a regular jog, because I was like, oh, I want to make sure I'm challenging myself. I ran hills and I was running at a good pace. And like, honestly, I didn't really start to feel the challenge until maybe the last 5 minutes. And even it was like just beginning to feel like I honestly, the next time I run, because I just wanted to test kind of where I was at. The next time I run, I'm probably going to jack it up to 40 minutes or an hour, because it was actually too easy. I actually ended up doing some sprints. I did 10 more minutes doing sprints actually on the hills and shit too. I pulled my groin a little bit, so I pushed it a little too hard with the sprints. But I was like, yo, I'm getting, so yeah, man, there's no benefits to being a fat ass. Take care of yourself, man. We here for a long, fuck that. We here for a good time, not a long, no. We here for a long time and a good time. Fuck that shit, bro. So get yourself together, man. I hope you do. For those of you unaware, I use the carnivore diet to kick my metabolism into go. I did that for like 2 months. I'm not on it anymore. October 1st, I came off of it. So like the last 2 months, last month and a half, I just been kind of eating vegetables, fish, still eating healthy, just not carnivore. And it's been working for me. I feel like I'm still slimming down. I looked at the scale the other day. I was down to 191. So I lost like another 7 pounds since I last checked. I'm about to touch the 180s, which is wild. I haven't been that low since maybe like 23 or something like that. I might try to get down to like the 170s, like my old high school weight. We'll see. We'll see, because I don't have as much muscle as I used to. I don't know if it's because of COVID. I used to weightlift a lot, but after COVID, I stopped working out and lifting weights and shit. I think I lost a lot of muscle. But we're going to get right. We're going to get right. That's all I got on my show notes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. It's the best way to help the brother show grow. Helps me move up the algorithm. Also, if you want to financially support the show, you can hit that. You can hit the Cash App, $ the Black Hokage 08. If you're watching the video version, it's right there on the top of the screen. $ the Black Hokage 08. It doesn't have to be any specific amount. I appreciate everything. Other than that, I appreciate you guys listening to the show, and I'll see you guys on the next one of Hokage Thots.